Let's dig deeper on this latest test of U.S.-Pakistan relations with the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, C.A. Dutch Ruppersberger, and the New York Times reporter who broke this story, Eric Schmidt. Congressman, I want to start with you. You were in Pakistan just last week. What was the government's explanation when you met with the military, when you met with the ISI officials? What was their explanation for arresting, detaining 5 people who helped the United States find bin Laden?
Well, to begin with, they told us that they felt that these individuals were working against their own government.
What did you say back?
Well, the first thing, what we said back, and we weren't going to acknowledge if they were working for us at all, and we know why we cannot do that. What we said to them, though, was that these were individuals that were attempting to help fight the war against terror, to try to help the Pakistanis and to help them and fight the war against terror. And my issue was, and what we also communicated to them, why are you looking for people that helped us bring bin Laden to justice? Why aren't you looking for people who had knowledge that bin Laden, the top terrorist in the world, was living in Pakistan very close to your capital? That was the response back to them.
Well, Eric Schmidt, that raises a big question here. What is the top priority of the Pakistani government, especially the intelligence service, by detaining 5 people who helped the United States? There's a pretty chilling message to anyone out there who might be asked by the United States for help in the future.
That's right, John. And what this shows is really how fractured relationship there is right now between the United States and Pakistan, the security services. Here you have the Pakistani spy agency detaining these individuals, clearly concerned about what ties these individuals might reveal to the United States, that the Pakistanis have to these militant groups, perhaps even connections with the spy agency and the military to bin Laden himself in this compound.
And so, Eric, to you first, and then to you, Congressman, what is the impact? What is the impact of this? If you have the Pakistani intelligence, the Pakistani military, looking for people who helped the United States, and Congressman, you made the point, instead of looking for people who are on the other side of the war on terrorism, Eric, how does it impact continued intelligence operations, maybe cooperation on drone strikes or military strikes?
Well, John, it's not good, that's for sure. I mean, again, what this shows is right now this relationship is really teetering on the edge. And when you have a situation now where the informants for a raid on somebody as big as bin Laden can be detained, this undercuts much of the other type of cooperation that Leon Panetta, the CIA director, was in Islamabad just on Friday to try and reinforce. They're trying to, the United States and senior officials are trying to salvage this key part of the relationship, the intelligence sharing and the counterterrorism aspect, which is still essential right now for the United States.
And so, Congressman, can it be salvaged?
Well, the reason that Chairman Rogers and I went to Pakistan was to try to salvage the relationship. And we pointed out to Pakistan that we need to work together because we both have the common enemy of terrorism, and that we cannot continue the way the relationship is now. Chairman Rogers and I also pointed out that Congress controls the money. And we're not sure whether or not that Congress can continue to give money to Pakistan when, in fact, that money isn't being used where we think it should go.
And so you got things on that money now?
Well, at this point, we had let it be known that we want more accountability of where the money is going to be going. And that was the purpose of our visit and our communication with them.
And Congressman, let me stick with you for a minute.
Yes,
it's a simple question. If you're the American sitting at home in the living room watching this, should the United States government, should an American citizen trust the Pakistani government right now?
I would say that from past actions that we probably shouldn't. But let me say this. We need the Pakistani government to work with us because as long as we're in Afghanistan, we take our munitions and we take our supplies through Pakistan to go to Afghanistan. We pointed out to Pakistan, you must work with us. You have people that are being killed by terrorists also. But the fact that they were so upset that we did not tell them about the bin Laden raid, this is an opportunity now to reset that relationship. But as members of Congress, we're going to hold them more accountable, especially as it relates to money.
But Eric, if they're detaining people who helped the CIA, helped the United States find bin Laden, that certainly raises suspicion, if you will, on the bigger question. How high up in the government did somebody know bin Laden was there in the first place?
Exactly, John, and that's exactly what American officials are still looking at right now. They repeatedly say they have no evidence so far to indicate any senior Pakistani military intelligence officials knew about bin Laden and bin Laden living there. But I think they're piecing together the information they're getting that was included in the documents they took away from the from the compound and from other types of intelligence they're collecting. They're building a case right now.
And Congressman Ruppersberger, how high does it go?
Well, let me say this. We do not have evidence or intelligence at this point that shows that the leadership in the Pakistani intelligence or army had knowledge that bin Laden was living where he was. But it seems to me that somehow, some way, people within the government or the military knew that he was. That's what we're investigating, and that's what they're investigating. But we need to reset this relationship because it has gone south, and we're trying to bring it back right now. We need more accountability from them if we're going to continue to fund Pakistan, and especially in the area of intelligence.
Eric, so the sense is going forward, you hear the congressman make the case, this is a frustrating relationship. At times, people on the United States side of the relationship get quite angry and disappointed, but as he also noted, it's a necessary relationship. When you talk to your sources in the intelligence community, how do they think? What do they think needs to be done to fix it? But
they talk about are setting benchmarks. That is, small things that the Pakistanis can do in terms of helping intelligence sharing on specific cases. One of these cases that they tried the other day was to give the Pakistanis some intelligence on some IED factories. By the time the Pakistani forces got to those factories, however, they had cleared out. So there was concern that that information had leaked all the way around. So even the small little test cases that they're trying right now seem to be going awry. So it's going to be very small steps right now to rebuild some of this confidence and trust.
Not much trust at all in a very critical relationship. Eric Schmidt of the New York Times, Congressman Dutch Ruppersberger, appreciate your time, both of you gentlemen.